Welcome all, Abhilash here. So this is the first session on Unit 4, Current Asset Management. So in the Unit 4 we have a first topic, that is Working Capital Management. So now let's understand what is working capital. Working capital is basically an indicator of short-term financial position of an organization and is also a measure of its overall efficiency. Working capital is obtained by subtracting the current liabilities from the current assets. So the formula is for calculating working capital. Working capital is equal to current assets minus, that means subtracts, current liabilities. Working capital is obtained by subtracting the current liabilities from the current assets. This ratio indicates whether the company possesses sufficient assets to cover its short-term debt. Working capital is expressed as a difference between the current assets and current liabilities. It can be interpreted as money available to company for day-to-day operation. Working capital, it's a common measure of company's liquidity, efficiency, and overall health of the company. It includes inventory accounts, receivable, account payable, accruals, and the short-term debts. Working capital indicates the liquidity levels of the company for managing day-to-day expenses and covers inventory, cash, accounts payable, account receivable, and short-term debt that is due. Working capital is derived from the several company operations such as debt and inventory management, supplier payments, and collection of revenues. So why it matters? So positive working capital generally indicates that the company is able to pay off its short-term liabilities almost immediately. It means that the company is able to maintain or grow sales, pay bills slowly, and collect receivables quickly. So what are the sources for working capital? The sources for working capital can either be a long-term or short-term or even spontaneous. Spontaneous working capital are majorly derived from the trade credit, including notes payable and bills payable, while short-term working capital sources include dividend or tax provisions or cash credits, public deposits, tax deposits, short-term loans, bills discounting, inter-corporate loans, and also commercial paper. For the long term, working capital sources include long-term loans, provisions for depreciations, return profits, debentures, and share capital. So these are major working capital sources for organization based on their requirement. Problems with the working capital formula. The formula assumes that a company really would liquidate its current asset to pay current liabilities, so which is not always realistic, right? So its timing of receivable collection and payable dues may not overlap all the times, right? Because why? The payable dues has a fixed date that at some of the date you have to make the payment, or organization has to make the payment, but receivable is not having the correlation with the date. It may come today, it may come tomorrow as well. Some cash is always needed to meet payroll obligations and maintain operations. Account receivables are not always readily available for collections, and some of them may be treated as a bad debts. That's why the problem with the capital formula. Measuring of the working capital current ratio. The current ratio is equal to current assets divided by current liabilities. It shows the ability of business to pay for its current liabilities with its current assets. A working capital ratio is to less than 1.0 is a stronger indicator that there will be liquidity problem in the future, while a ratio in the vicinity of 2.0 is considered represent good short-term liquidity. So most of part we have covered in the unit 3 about the problems and the formula. Let's understand the current ratio with the example. So now here you can see that the current asset for year 1 is the $4,000. It's not in the thousand, it's in lakh. It's 40 lakh dollars. So let me read all figures in rupees. It's 40 lakh. In year 2 it's 82, and in year 3 it's around 1 crore 17 lakh. Okay, so current liability is also there below the current assets, you can see that. So the formula is for the calculating current ratio is current assets divided by current liability, right? So now let's calculate 40 lakh divided by 20 lakh. So answer is 2. So ratio is 2 is to 1, right? Like that you can calculate the values. You can get the current ratios for year 2 and year 3. The current ratio formula may be misleading by yielding higher results. A. When current assets are built on the account of the inventories, and the same pitfalls are valid in case of the receivables. Measuring of working capital quick ratio. The quick ratio is current assets minus subtracts inventories divided by current liabilities. So indicates company's ability to meet its short-term obligations when its most liquid asset. For this reason, the ratio excludes inventories as it takes some time to convert them into cash. The higher the quick ratio, the better the company's liquidity position. So working capital management focuses on two basic issues: administration of the firm's current assets and the financing needed to support current assets. So here we have a three types of working capital. One is the working capital. The working capital is the total value of company's current assets. Okay, it includes cash, account receivables, inventory, short-term investment, marketable securities. Gross working capital does not indicate the company's actual financial health. It does not include the current liabilities. Second type of working capital is net working capital. The first is gross working capital, the second one is net working capital. Net working capital is the difference between gross working capital, that means current assets of a company, and the current liabilities. A positive working capital indicates that the assets are more than the liabilities, which signifies that the company is in the better position to meet its current obligations. However, negative working capital signifies liabilities exceeding assets, which indicates that the company is facing financial distress. The third and the last type of the working capital is working capital cycle. The working capital cycle, or WCC, means the time period that is taken to convert net current liabilities and asset into cash by any organization. It is an indicator of the organizational efficiency in terms of effectively managing liquidity positions in the short term, and the cycle, which is calculated in a days, and is basically the time period between the generation of revenues through cash by selling products and the buying of materials for producing these products. Significance of working capital management. In a typical manufacturing firm, the current asset exceeds one half of total assets. XQC levels can result in substandard return on investment, that is ROI. Low current asset level may lead shortage and difficulties in maintaining smooth operations. Working capital management affects the company's health, like return and shares price. It's not a company's health, it's about company's financial health. Working capital management policy. A conservative approach aims to reduce the risks of system breakdown by holding high levels of gross working capital. An aggressive approach aims to reduce financial cost and increase profitability by cutting inventories and speeding up collection from customers and delaying payments to suppliers. So let's understand the working capital management policy, how it's depend on the liquidity, profitability, and risk. So working capital policy illustration. So here I am putting the example. You can see here on this slide. Optimal amount, level of current assets. This is the optimal amount. Right here I have mentioned the current assets. So here in this example I am showing the three policies which we will compare with each other. So assumptions: the 50,000 maximum unit of production. You can see here 50,000 maximum units of production and continuous production. So that's why I have drawn these policies like this. Okay, So why A is up? It's having high liquidity, that's why is up. It's having medium liquidity, it's having low liquidity, why? That's why policy C is here. So three different policies for current asset levels are possible, right? So liquidity analysis impact on liquidity. So policy A, as I told you, policy is having a high liquidity, B is average, and C is a low. So as you know, the greater current asset levels generate more liquidity, right? All other factors held constant. So for A, it's a current asset is a greater, and it will generate a more liquidity. Return on the investment, its effect, its expected profitability. Return on the investment formula is net asset, net profit divided by total asset, right? So let current asset is equal to cash plus receivables plus inventories, that is the current assets, and the return on investment is equal to net profit divided by current plus fixed asset. So total asset is equal to current asset plus fixed asset. That is the formula. Like this you can calculate the return on the investment. So profitability analysis, policy A is having a low profitability, policy B is having a average, and policy C is having a high profitability. Why? As current asset levels decline, you can see here the how the policy C line is decline and it's below A and B, and the total asset will decline, right? So current asset levels is decline, and with the current asset decline, the total asset will also decline, and the ROI will increase. The return on investment will increase, right? And it's having a low liquidity, as I told you in the first slide of this example. Decreasing cash reduces the firm's ability to meet its financial obligations. That means more risk. Stricter credit policies reduce receivables and possible lose sales and customers. It is also more risk. Low inventory levels increase short outs and low loss cost. That is also low risk. So its effect on the risks as well. So that's why working capital management is very important for any company. It can be finance company, it can be manufacturing, it can be operation company. So it's affect to all. So risk analysis, the policy A is having a low risk. Why? Because it's having a high liquidity with the high production units. B is average and C is high. Why C is high? Because the liquidity is low, right? So it can give you a good return. High return is, it can give a better return than B and A, or it could give you the low return than B and A. So risk increases as the level of current assets are reduced, right? So in this slide you can see a current asset levels decline, with the hand to hand total asset will decline and the ROI will rise, right? Here both things possible, ROI might get rise or it might fall. So risk is there, so high risk is there in the policy C. The summary of the optimal amount of the current assets, the policy A, B, C, liquidity is high, average and low. The profitability varies inversely with the liquidity, right? The profitability always depend on the liquidity. The liquidity is high, the profitability will be low. If liquidity is average, profitability is average. If liquidity is low, profitability high. As I had told you, the rate of ROI will increase, right? With this, the risk is also high in the with the policy C. The profitability moves together with the risk, right? So that's why in the C, with the low liquidity, there is a profitability is high and risk is also high. Okay, so with the high profitability, high liquidity, with the A policy, risk is low. Average with the B policy B, the average liquidity with the risk C. So risk and return go hand to hand. So this is all about working capital management. Thank you. Best wishes.